Hey everybody, today we are going to the Great Lakes Comic-Con, and this is a 2-day event. It was a Friday night and a Saturday. I went to both days, and I'm going to take you through what I saw when I was there. This is either a once a year or twice a year event. Second biggest Comic-Con next to Motor City. So here I am when I showed up Friday night, pretty long line. And unfortunately, the line for people that already had tickets was much longer than the line for people that were just showing up to buy tickets. Very weird. And then over on the side in the background there, you can see there were security guards that were checking every single person that came in. I've not seen that before. I'm okay with them doing that, but it was a little different. So then I got in and started doing my walk around. There were a ton of booths and a lot of comics. So it was a nice surprise. And then there was the normal stuff too, right? You had the creators that were there, Artist Alley. You had a lot of toys, a lot of arts and crafts type of stuff as well. But I was still pleased with the amount of comic vendors that were there. This booth you see here, I did end up well, we'll save that to the end. I may have bought one or two small things from this guy, but I'll show you what I got at the end of the video, and I'll kind of keep that under wraps for now. And let's see, this booth here, this is Kmart, another local guy that has been gaining some popularity as time goes on here. And so this was just me just doing a quick rock around when I first got to the show on Friday night, okay? And then I have a bunch of video mixed in from Friday and Saturday, so I don't remember what day was what, but this booth had, not a lot of top-end stuff, but still some nice, solid, middle-of-the-road type of keys. And I wasn't able to stop and look in detail of a lot of booths. Oh, this guy here, his name is Bill, I believe. He had a ton of pre-code horror stuff and a lot of Golden Age stuff, so that was really nice as well. This is Carl. Carl used to sell at shows, I don't know, like 30 years ago. He spotted me at another local show, said he watches all my videos, and said that this was going to be his first show in decades and that I should show up to his booth. So I did. And he actually had a box of stuff he wanted me to look at first, so I think I go to that next. And yeah, so I'm behind his booth now, and of course I see a bunch of VC stuff, so I know it's going to be some decent stuff. And there you have it, right? Some Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and was there Haunt of Fear? Yep, some Haunt of Fear stuff. So did I buy any of it? I don't know. Stick around to the end to see if I did. But then I start going through some of the Bronze Age stuff. Wasn't really looking for a lot of Marvel Bronze Age. I've kind of been focusing on DC Bronze Age horror just because it's harder to find, and there's some of it here. There's the Brave and the Bold 93, which is a take on House of Mystery. I believe there's a nice Phantom Stranger book here. Yep, this is the first proto of the Swamp Thing, and then some Charlton stuff. I've also been investing a little bit into Charlton books as well because they're severely underrated. Some of those covers are fantastic. So that was Carl's booth. He had some really good stuff and it was busy quite a bit throughout the weekend at his booth. And I think this is just me walking around a little bit more. Again, I didn't have time to stop at every single person's booth, but there was a lot of really, really good stuff everywhere. And a lot of Golden Age stuff, more than I've seen at any of the other local shows recently. And again, right, this is bigger than your typical Southeastern Michigan local show. This guy had some good comics. He had a lot of cards as well. And almost bought a few boxes of cards, but did not. Let's see. Yep, more comics. I think I walked around in there a little bit later and looked at some specific stuff. There was some really nice Silver Age X-Men in there, but I did not pull the trigger on any of them. And let's see, lots of toys. And when I talked to the vendors, I think most people thought it was mixed. Most of them, I would say, thought it was slower than they wanted it to be, but there were some people that had really, really good success. Some didn't have success until late on Saturday, on the second day. And remember, this was only a Friday and Saturday show. This booth, I was really attracted to this booth because of the Golden Age pre-code horror, as you can see here. And this woman took over her father's comic business, and he was a guy that was really big in Michigan for a number of years, right, decades. And he unfortunately passed away last year. I believe he had cancer, and the local community here was very sad about that. But she kind of picked up where he left off, and this is a lot of the good stuff that he had that I never remember seeing him bring to other shows, but she definitely brought out the goodies to this one. So that stuff is right up my alley. So you can imagine that booth had a lot of attention over the entire weekend. Really good stuff here. Let's see, where do I go next? Right, you can see just endless key issues in this booth. It was really great. And this, I believe, is Lauren's booth. Lauren's another guy who just has a ton of great stock. And he's been doing this a long time. He used to own a comic book shop, I believe. I don't remember if it's in Clawson, Michigan or not. He ended up selling that shop, but he still does comics full time and toys. He's really into older toys as well. I was going to say classic toys, but really high-end stuff as well. But his comics, really good. I think in the past I bought a Captain America comics, a timely Captain America comics from him, maybe issue number 54 or something, a couple years ago. And I bought some old Marvel cards from him as well that were CGC'd, the 1966 Donruss cards. And then this is Lantern Comics. So this is Tim. He's pretty much at every show I go to that's in Michigan. And I try to make it a point to get some video of his booth because he's got a lot of, or I should say a little bit of everything. And, really good selection, very diverse type of stuff in here, right? Whether you're looking for modern, even some Golden Age stuff. I think he sold a bunch of Captain Marvel Adventures books at this show on the second day, which really helped out his weekend. Those Kiss magazines I've been eyeing for a couple months here. I'm surprised he still got them because those have really taken off. So that's Tim from Lantern Comics. Always great stuff there. All right, so that was Great Lakes Comic-Con. We're back, and I've got a small stack of stuff to go through. So, in general, great show. And like I said in the video, the vendors had mixed feelings about it, right? Some had good results and some not so good. I even had one of the guys say that he's thinking about not doing smaller Michigan shows anymore, maybe just doing Motor City because he just doesn't get a whole lot out of it. So, it was sad to hear that. And it's just there's a lot of ups and downs right now, as you guys know, all over the comic hobby, right? There's some big books that still sell. Lots of big books sell everywhere, right? These big auction houses, but you see some record prices, and then you see some prices that are the lowest since 2020. So the hobby at best is mixed right now, but it's still great. And the correction in a lot of key issue prices, I think, is still happening, and I think it's still necessary. If this hobby's gonna remain strong and get stronger, we've got to bring these prices back in line to whatever the slope of the normal increase was going back to like 2018-19, and now projecting to where we are today. It's got to get back in line with that, and I think it's getting close. So anyway, let me show you again. Small stack. And the first one I got, I know I said in the video I'm really not focusing on much Marvel. So we'll start with some of the smaller stuff. But I did get a Marvel book, and it's Daredevil 130. And this is it's an overlooked issue, and it's fantastic, right? In my mind, it's Daredevil basically being a a puppet to this skeleton, and I'm trying to remember who the cover artist is. I want to say it's like Klaus something or other. I'll have to look up, and I'll probably put it on the screen when I look it up. But for some reason, the name Klaus comes to mind. All right. Um, Next book, I got a couple Charlton books. So Ghostly Tales and Midnight Tales. These are both titles that I think are gaining some momentum for sure. You can see here's a close-up of the Ghostly Tales. It's hard for me to figure out where to move it so you can see it in the camera. And then Midnight Tales, this is issue number 10. And you can see there's a $10 price tag on these. The person worked with me a little bit on the pricing, but these are really really nice grades as well. And then I picked up 3 different ghost story books. Okay, so there's one. Oops, there's the other one, and there's the third one. You know, always with that skeleton hooded guy on the cover. And Dell never put the issue numbers, or not until later anyway. You can see up in the corner, you know, it doesn't really say what the issue number is. You had to go in and look on the inside, and I did, and I can't remember what the issues are, but I'm sure whoever is watching here probably knows what they are. But anyway, these are decent grades as well. He had 8, 9, and $11 on these, and 28, I think. So that adds up to 28, and I believe I asked if he could do 25, and he said he did. Okay, now on to some of the DC stuff, and I think you saw some of this in the video. So from Carl's booth, Carl had some great stuff. So I got Brave and the Bold 93, which was, again, kind of a cover swipe of House of Mystery. I'm trying to remember what House of Mystery cover that was, but it was essentially what ushered in the Bronze Age horror for DC. But this time you've got Batman in there that's looking to go in and save that kid. So great cover. I believe Neal Adams. House of Secrets number 90. You probably saw this in the video as well. I didn't call it out, but another great cover. This is with the haunted house in space. Everything's in space here, and there's some creature reaching out to grab this poor lady who's on the stairway to outer space. So, and again, I don't remember if it's Neal Adams or not. A lot of these are for sure. And then a great Neal Adams cover, Phantom Stranger number 14. This is essentially the prototype for Swamp Thing. And it's fantastic. If I can get it a little closer to the camera, you can see a lot of the detail here. The Swamp Thing just creeping out of the water. The guy sees him, the girl does not. But no, great cover. Again, I think I will certainly correct myself if these are not, but I believe all 3 of those are Neal Adams. And then I picked up a few EC books from Carl's booth as well. So this is Tales from the Crypt 38. You see the guy with the axe going for, I'm not sure what he's going for actually. Oh, move it this way. Sorry for the reflection. Maybe I just hold it right there. That's probably the best I can get it without a reflection. All right, so that's Tales from the Crypt 38. Tales from the Crypt 44. It's a guillotine cover. It's a guy at the end of his rope, so to speak, there. But another great cover. And these are solid grades, right? They are not, I wouldn't call them high grade, but maybe 6, 7 range. Maybe if I'm lucky, a little bit higher. Haunt of Fear, number 28. The casket being wheeled down the road into the cemetery. Man, that reflection really is bad. Anyway, again, nice looking grade. This one might be, there's a little bit of spine. I was going to say that one might be one of the better grades of the 4. And then finally this one, right? Vault of Horror, number 38. And see all the creepy figures around those guys who are walking down some dark lit area. All right. So really nice grades. And I took all of these out and looked at them just to make sure, no detached centerfolds, covers, no staple pops. On the inside covers of some of the EC books, there seemed to be some bleed through of the ink on the front cover into the inner side of the front cover, and that's not unheard of. I don't know what causes that, if that's a little bit of exposure to sunlight or just sitting over time, but it did have some of that. And then the last book that I got is actually sitting behind me, and it is this one right here from the rack, and it's Haunted Thrills #6 with a classic skeleton cover and the skeleton rolling the dice there, and you see snake eyes, and then you see the devil in the background over here. Just a very, very cool cover. Again, I have to hold it at this weird angle to try and get rid of the glare. This is Carl Burgos cover. All right, and I know he's done some other stuff. First time I've had this book, and if you remember in the video, I quickly panned past a guy's booth, and I believe I said his name is Bill, and he had a ton of Golden Age stuff, a ton of pre-code horror. And this one, first of all, caught my eye because it's a cover that is all these skeleton covers from pre-code horror have really gone up in value over the past few years. But anyway, so the cover I was attracted to, but also when I looked at it, it's got a lot of opportunity for improvement. So I think, and this is what the back of it looks like. It's solid, right? A little bit of tanning there. But I think there's a possibility this one could go up to a 4.0. So I'm going to take a shot at it and see what I can do. And that's it. So again, great show. The next big show in Michigan isn't until May, when Motor City Comic Con hits. And I don't know the exact date of that. But there will be some other local shows that hopefully I'll be able to get to over the next couple months. And I've got an update on the CGC reholder scam for my 2 books that were sent in. It's not a great update, but it is a little bit of an update that I'll share with you guys as well. And I've got another scam video that I'm going to put together that someone I think took me to the bank, and I'm going to explain what happened and how you can avoid it. So that's it. I hope you liked it. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, have a great day.